I gotta think as a person who makes music and stuff like that, it has to be gratifying when something's just like, oh, it works. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't have to put up a fight right now. All right, fair enough. Moving on.
Yep. I know. And you never, at least I just never know
Mm-hmm.
when it is or when it isn't. And then also your instincts can tend to be completely wrong where you like play a song for someone and you're like, this one's like this one's whatever, but like this one. And then of course the one that's whatever, they're like, no, that's the one. Really? All right.
Why? Who asked you?
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to Casting Fruit 2, the podcast, always and forever hosted by me, Chris. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 423 of the podcast. Great episode for you guys today. I'm in a good mood because my guest is super cool and super awesome. Of course, I have to talk about the motto of the podcast now. The message that I want to send with this podcast is that, if you see somebody who is in need of help or, looks different than you, because let's face it, we are all people of this earth and we all look different, unless you're a twin. But again, treat people with respect and kindness, because we all inhabit the same planet. We are all brothers and sisters. Some of us are actual brothers and sisters, but you know what? Treat other people with respect and wear a damn mask, all right? With the new CDC guidelines going out, it's great, but I'm still wearing a mask. I'm still going to be wearing a mask because I don't trust it. No, it's not that I don't trust it. It's just a precautionary thing that I will continue to do until I see that COVID number reach 0. Just my thoughts. So be kind and courteous to others and wear a damn mask. Message of the podcast. My guest today is a phenomenal singer, songwriter, musician, person. Phenomenal. Like, his initials are PB, so you know he's a good guy. All right. Paul Bergmann is on the podcast today, and he has an album out right now called The Other Side, and it is phenomenal. All right. I was listening to the album not too long ago when I was recording this, or when I was editing this episode, and it's all the feels I had when I was talking to Paul about the album just rushed back in, and you know what? I got to stop talking because you got to listen to my chat with Paul. All right, so everybody sit back, relax, and Paul, take it away.
Hi, is this Chris?
This is Chris from Casting for Two.
Awesome. Hi, how are you? It's unknown, so
Yes.
You got to check.
No, I agree. It's so how I do this is I call from Skype, and
oh, nice.
And I have no idea what number pops up. Sometimes there's just weirdo
Right.
symbols, and sometimes it says
cool.
Yeah, so I'm like, and it does weird people out, but I can't.
Well, I was expecting it, and nobody makes phone calls anymore, so for something to occur at the same time, I feel like that would, yeah.
Exactly. But how's your morning going?
It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's I'm in the Northeast in Connecticut, so we're just starting to get some halfway decent weather.
Yeah.
It's like at the 50s. So
Yeah.
I live in this old apartment, like an old building, and so the windows are they lose a lot of heat, so you put up these like plastic insulation over them, and I just peeled one off and opened a window because I just want to get fresh air.
It's time to,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's so funny because I'm such a cold weather guy that when I hear people like, oh, it's in the 50s and the 40s, I'm always just, ah, you lucky,
Uh, that's
because
so funny.
and I live in Texas, and that's where I'm just like, it's always hot and it sucks and I hate it.
Uh, Totally. I mean, I feel that. Wait, so you're in Houston, right?
San Antonio.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I saw that. Okay. So, I mean, what's the coldest it will get in the winters?
So it's funny you say that. The coldest it got was
Oh,
uh,
this year. Oh my
yeah,
God.
this
Of course.
year, which is fun because it was just an absolute clusterfuck of
Hmm.
unpreparedness. And I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I've lived in Chicago
Okay.
during the winter, and it was nothing to me. It really was, and but everyone else is freaking out, and it didn't help that the power went out, of
Right.
course. But
Right.
um, I don't. That was the coldest it got. 30s, I think. 20s, some around there. Um,
Right.
and yeah,
But
and
when yeah.
no, no, go ahead.
Oh no, no, I'm just saying. But when you're not prepared, or
Yeah,
that's really cold. Like
yeah, yeah,
if people don't have heat and basic, yeah, stuff like that. So
yeah. It's that whole situation. It was just, you know, yeah.
yeah.
I don't want to go into it because it was dumb. It was dumb. So, but it's whatever.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I mean, I followed it too. I mean, there's a lot going on there,
Hmm.
and yeah, that was really sad. Um,
Yeah, and
eh,
it dry. I get the idea of, well, it never blah blah here, so we don't need to invest in that. And my brain is always just, well, what if it does? You know,
right.
one if. But that's my brain rational thinking. Whatever.
Yeah, who'd have thunk that'd be a good quality to have.
Exactly.
Um,
Nah. But
yeah, I mean, I lived in LA for a while,
oh
and
yeah.
I mean, I don't even think any of my apartments had. I mean, maybe they technically had heating units, but
Mm.
I mean, they certainly didn't work, or I didn't know how to work them. Um, and yeah, so I mean, yeah.
That was crazy about Chicago as well, is it had a heating unit, but I didn't have any control over it. And
Oh.
I was just, what? I didn't understand it because I was just, can I not have the heat right now? So at
Right.
night, I would go in the other room and open my sliding glass door to my balcony and just let that cold air waft throughout the my apartment because I was just like, it's too hot in here. I yeah, I need some cold air, and so I just figured if I do it in
Right.
the room next door, then it would be better than just opening the window right next to my bed. So
Right, right. Yeah, I know some friends in New York I mean, I've never lived in a situation like that, but I think, yeah, in some big apartment buildings in, big cities like Chicago or New York will just do that. They just have the temperature set to like, I don't know, 75 or something crazy.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
ah, 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 ah. um, Well, yeah, we could keep going on about weather if you'd like.
Right, that's true. We did just that wasn't about weather.
But I am curious, going from one topic to a little nice soft topic. Um,
Mhm.
with the pandemic going on, have you noticed an uptick in your creativity?
Yes, probably. Oh no, yes, definitely.
Mhm.
um, yeah, because I sort of I stopped working. Um, well, around the time it started
Mhm.
last year, and was unemployed for a while. So that obviously gave me a ton of time to work on creative endeavors. Um, yeah, and I think at first it felt like this great equalizer,
Mhm.
like everyone, I was always, it's hard to admit it, but, looking at other people going on tour or, having more success than you and feeling like you're behind and feeling like you're never going to, get to this next step or this level or whatnot, just
Mhm.
basically feeling behind. And that felt, not that I was happy for people losing money on, planned tours and this and that, but it felt like, okay, like I can just concentrate. I can, not rush. I'll just concentrate on making music. And it was really,
Right.
it was good for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like everybody, as far as, well, no, literally everyone, just kind of hit the
Right.
reset button, and it was just okay. We're
Hmm.
all on the same playing field.
Right. Yeah,
Was
absolutely.
the album that you have coming out, was that a product of COVID, or was that already done before COVID?
That was definitely a product of COVID.
Mhm.
So that was, I had started like an EP before COVID, and then I sort of finished that, and then I didn't like it, and then I made another like short album.
Mhm.
And these are really, I had this attic space where I used to live, and I was just recording up there, and I had this like old tape machine, so
Mhm.
I was trying to do every. I think at that for these two releases that I haven't actually released, I feel like they're preparation for this album. I
Mhm.
just, because I had so much time, I was able to knock this stuff out. But I think I was sort of grasping at straws and not really trying anything new, just
Mhm.
trying to get something out there for the sake of it because it's COVID and you got to be productive.
Right.
And then, yeah, I mean, and then with this one, I sort of decided to take a different approach and just do things differently, creatively, or be out of my comfort zone. And that's, I think, why I was happier with this one.
What was some of the things that was out of your comfort zone? Was it the lyrically or the music part?
I would say, yeah, I would say both, maybe. Well, maybe
Mhm.
not like lyrically, but probably the way I say the lyrics, like the vocal delivery and I mean, mostly that because I was just experimenting with using more affectation and not
Mhm.
being so like authentic. I think I was sort of obsessed with like authenticity. How can I be the most authentic version of myself, and my voice has to be my voice. And then
Right.
I was like, wait, I think I'm limiting myself by trying to, I can just, it's all right. This is music. It's a performance. It's okay to like inhabit some other persona.
Mhm.
So I think I've had this whole kind of like, not like set of rules, but guidelines for like, all right, you're going to try, even though the lyrics are sort of, I guess, tangential with what I've done before, I was trying to, each song I was trying to articulate in with almost like a new voice. So,
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Did that, and so I'm assuming that experience must have been a bit freeing in a sense, just because, oh, I can do different style. I can do, this. I can do that. Um,
Hmm.
did you feel that?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that hits the nail on the head. It was really, yeah, it was freeing, and just giving myself the permission to do that. And it was fun too. And it also felt sort of like, you create this sort of false, I don't know if it's like urgency or like you make it high stakes, but it's like, okay, well, it has to be like this, and you have to feel it, and it becomes almost not like spiritual, but like, okay, like if you're not going to get this take in the next few takes, like it's going to be dead today and you're going to have to try it tomorrow, or that, there were just certain things where I was really going by how I felt,
Okay.
with like a gut feeling, as opposed to, so it was trying to be less rational and more, trying to balance the two, but more like, yeah, emotional or something.
Is it going to be
Yeah.
hard for you to? I don't want to say like, oh, you're going to go back to what you were doing before. Never mind. But do
Right.
you think about that? Where like, how do I do what I used to do before, or are you totally just on this new venture of mixing it up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of like dealing with that now, because I really want to not just be like, oh, okay, whew, all right, I did this thing out of my comfort zone, back to
Yeah.
my nice little
Right.
safe
Back to the
hole.
comfort. Give
Yeah,
me that Dow
right.
blanket, please.
Totally, totally. So I think that I should. My partner said, she was like, you should really wring this thing dry. Get
Mm,
everything out of it that you can. And I feel like I haven't quite done that yet, even with this album. So
mm,
I feel like I need to. The next release needs to be pushed more in whatever direction I'm going in. Not doing the same thing, but just again doing more things that are out of my comfort zone, because it is, it's nice to do these more insular, introspective albums that are quiet and this and that, and
yeah.
those have value too, but I think I need to, yeah, keep
Okay.
pushing.
Okay. Okay. When it
Yeah.
comes to the album and writing and all that good stuff, when everything opens up and we're to quote unquote back to normal,
Right.
is there a song off the album that you're excited to play in front of people?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of the ones that I haven't done so much like production and like weird shit to, that I
Mm.
could actually play well without like um I think the song Oh My Love, which was the first
Yeah.
release,
Yeah.
um yeah, I think that just would be, I think that has, like a nice sort of like blunt force to it, and
Mm.
would be pretty easy to just play with a full band. I think that'd be really fun to do live.
Okay. That song, because I got set a couple different links, and I was just, whoa, let me pick one, and one of them was that, and I was just, this is a really mellow song, but yet there's so much emotion behind it, and I was just kind of, it was one of those, hey, let me listen to that again, let me listen to it again, because I'm like, this is very interesting, and I like it. I like. I just like the tone that you have set up.
Thank you so much.
Was um, as far as writing the songs, was there one song in particular that wasn't gelling together? Maybe like you weren't getting good feelings recording and had to keep doing it
Mhm.
over. Was there one song?
Yeah, I mean, there's actually, I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, there was a song that I literally just, I pretty much like made it unrecognizable because I was messing a lot with the tape machine. I like having limitations, so there's not too much that you could do. So with the tape machine, it goes like this old, it goes 2 speeds, and so I could slow it down to half speed. So I had this one faster song, and it just felt kind of like, I was like, yeah, this is just being dialed in. Like, it's just not working. But I'm like, well, why waste, recorded material? So I slowed it down on the tape machine. And then I affected it in all sorts of ways by, sending it through a guitar amp and, just mixing it. And then my friend, you can't even hear the lyrics at that point. And then I just took a portion of it, and my friend out in L.A. played some slide guitar on it. And yeah, then it just became this really cool 1-minute instrumental that actually starts the album. So that was what I did for songs. Didn't work. I just sort of destroyed them until they became something else.
Yeah, just get that wrecking ball and let's go have fun until it works. Which, to be fair, it worked.
Yeah,
it worked.
yeah, thanks. So why not?
Was there a song that, the flip side to that question? Was there a song that just felt like, oh, all the pieces are just popping in place?
Yeah, I mean, it probably was "Oh My Love." I mean, that was just, yeah. I had a few songs that I had started just being a little more, I don't know, not like writing songs as much at first. When I'd had to have some other duds that where I'm just more like talking or something, and I was like, this is just like too out there, like not working. And then I don't know, I was just messing around with, different vocal styles. And then with Oh My, what was it? Yeah, with Oh My Love, I think I was just like falling asleep, and I just had like this silly, like my Rapunzel let down your hair for me.
Okay.
I thought it was just so silly, kind of dumb. But I was like, what if I do this, like some of these like a line like that, but in this really like earnest, weird kind of like old man voice where he's like begging her to yeah, that, and then that one, and then when I went to record it, yeah, it was just like first or second take, I was like, okay, I got it. Yeah.
Nice.
So
it's always, I gotta think, as a person who makes music and stuff like that, it has to be gratifying when something's just like, oh, it works, okay. I don't have to put up a fight right now. All right, fair enough. Moving on.
Yep, I know. And I mean, at least I just never know when it is or when it isn't. And then also your instincts can tend to be completely wrong, where you like play a song for someone, you're like, this one's like this one's whatever, but like this one. And then of course the one that's whatever, they're like, no, that's the one. And you're like, oh, really? All right.
Why? Who asked you?
Yeah. You did. No, I didn't.
So, I'm curious. If there's one thing I love on the podcast, it's a good horror story. And
Ooh.
yes, and I'm wondering if you have a gig horror story.
Oh, a gig horror story, like just like a something that went horribly wrong.
Yes.
Oh man, I mean, besides like nobody attending.
I mean, you can still play a good show.
That's true. That's true. Oof. All right, you caught me off guard, but I'm gonna do my best. Let me rack my brain. God, I have to just like. It's almost like I have to, like, put a bad taste in my mouth.
Right.
To help me, like,
Sometimes I feel bad because there are people. I ask that question a lot, and they're just like, "Oh, I took it out of my mind," and I was just, "Oh, I'm sorry. You have to go back there."
How dare you?
I know. Oh no, my bad.
I think Yeah, I can't think of anything. I mean, there's been plenty of like, oh, I mean, it wasn't really a horror story, but I was playing this show in Northampton, Massachusetts, where I used to live, or
Mm-hmm.
like I just moved there, and it was one of these venues where they sort of like just throw a hodgepodge of people together who don't know each other,
Mm-hmm.
and like nobody really is like excited, or there's no like unified feeling for the night or the show, and there's like, sort of like unenthused employees. I mean, whatever, that's fine, but yeah, we got there, and I had some relatives, like my sister's in-laws were there. Someone had driven like an hour. People just like kind of came out of the woodworks for this, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh shit, like I didn't know this was, and that was a lot of pressure. And then the show was running late as is. It was running like, I don't know, probably at least 45 minutes late. And then of course they tell me that they've switched the order, so I'm going last, which means I would go on at like 11:30. And meanwhile, it's like a Sunday night, and these people drove like an
Ah,
hour. They have real jobs. They're not like 20 years old,
yeah.
Um, and it was just so, I mean, and they weren't sympathetic, and then we actually just decided to all leave.
Mm.
And they were fine. I mean, and they were, all the people who came were like, it's your decision. We just, I decided to leave, and yeah, because they wanted to go too. So it's not like a horror story. It's just sort of like it was a bummer.
Yeah, yeah. No, bummer stories do count.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's not like yeah, it's not sensational. I'll probably get off the phone with you and then be like, no, I forgot about that one time.
Well, I mean, look, I had a blast chatting with you. If you ever think of it, and like, look, we got a podcast again. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
tell this one story, and then I'm out.
Right, but it's gonna take 3 hours. No.
All right, fair enough. Get your popcorn, kids.
Right.
But
Oh man.
for people who want to pick up the album, and sidebar, when this episode goes out, it'll already be out. Um,
Okay,
and,
cool.
and also follow you online. Where can they do all that?
Yes, so you can, all of well, in terms of picking up the album, obviously the most artist-friendly option would be Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
So paulbergmann.bandcamp.com. It'll also be on Spotify and all the streaming things. And yeah, and then I'm just, I'm on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. And there's paulbergmann.com. I try and keep everything up to date there as well. So,
Nice, nice. Paul, thank you so much
yeah.
for chatting with me. I hope the weather continues to get better and better, and you get to get more and more air.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. It's really been a pleasure. I really love talking with you.
I'm glad. I'm glad. And like I said, anytime you want to come back and chat, just say the word. I'd be happy to have you back.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Well, I hope you get a gust of cool air every once
Ugh.
in a while.
Ugh. And the humidity is coming up. It's just
uh,
whatever. All right. All right.
yeah, there you go.
But anyway, I'll let you go. Continue to stay safe and healthy, and just have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
All
Have a
right.
great day, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Bye bye.
Okay, take care. Bye.